Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Phil Lavanco, and welcome to Under Review. We take the most controversial refereeing decisions in the Major Arena Soccer League and put them under the watchful eyes of MASL's head of officiating, Ryan Cigich. And Ryan, I don't know about you, but I've never had as many people reach out to me as about this episode coming up.
Why?
We'll start in Utica with the play that sent my phone buzzing. Milwaukee fans are not happy over the game-winning goal scored by Steven Fernandez. Wave fans and players alike think there's a foul here. It went to review and it was deemed a good goal. Ryan, what is your preferred decision on this controversial play?
Well, Phil, my phone's always buzzing, so, welcome to the club. But obviously, it's a controversial call here, actually non-call, I should say. And it's a tight, subjective judgment decision. There's obviously a push action by the attacker that creates some space there. The camera angle doesn't really show how much of an extension of the arm that there really is, but there was a push. And the more you look at this over and over again, you easily can talk yourself into it being a clear push. But I think the question is, how much does that contact impact the defender? Looking at this in game speed, the contact's really minor, and I think the defender just goes to ground very easily trying to get the call. So the call on the field was a goal. This happens to be under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, so the referees have the option of going to video review on this on their own, which they did, and they leave this as no foul, which I support that call. I don't believe that it's a clear 100% error that was made.
And it's similar to a earlier play.
Oh, well, yeah, great point, Phil. There was a play earlier in the third quarter in which Utica could have easily had a penalty kick called in their favor as well. So I do feel like we had consistency from penalty area to penalty area.
And a good decision here by the referees in this review of Nelson Santana's tackle. The only question for me is if the contact is in the penalty box or not.
Well, it's a reckless, bad, 2-foot dangerous tackle. I think it's right outside of the penalty area. Probably should have been caught in real time, but this is why we have VAR, and it doesn't take both the referees there, Danielle and Elvis, very long to look at this, and they correctly give a blue card 2-minute power play.
One more from me on this game, first quarter, and we have a mass confrontation. City keeper Andrew Coughlin takes exception to the foul from Salvador Nunez. The play goes to review, and yellow cards are handed out like we're at a blackjack table. We don't know what was said to earn the yellows. Don't yell at the refs. But Ryan, what was your recommendation on this play?
Yeah, well, blackjack's my favorite game, Phil, but, the charge in the back happens, and Coughlin comes running out of his penalty area and then pushes number 29, who then pushes Coughlin back in the face with an open hand. So 29 there, he gets a blue card, 2-minute power play penalty, and Coughlin should have received one too, but he doesn't. We've got a lot of yellow cards here, and the referees, we try to manage this, but at times, how many times does the referee have to ask a player to go to the box? Players are supposed to go to the penalty box immediately, just like you see in hockey, and Nunez was asked many times and he's just not going. As far as Marcio there, he's asked several times to move out of the vicinity of the area, and he keeps arguing too. So I think it's a bit overkill with all the yellows, but at some point the players just need to do what the referee's asking them to do.
We'll stick now with Milwaukee, now home against the Ambush. Fourth quarter, and another one of these didn't cross the line. Okay, so remember our golden rules on Under Review. Our eyes are playing tricks with us, and what looks like a goal might not actually be true. What's different about this one is that the Milwaukee production staff has the closest we've ever had to goal line camera angle. Ryan, the referee, is in great position on this one. It is ruled a goal on the field, and I don't think I have any issues with this decision.
No, the bottom line in this is the positioning. Kyle Trimble's in the perfect position. He couldn't have gotten any closer to it. So very, very close, but I believe the goal is correctly called here.
Now off to the Lone Star State, Tacoma versus the Sidekicks. And oh boy, Ryan, I think I see an extended hand in the box. This one sure looks like a penalty to me.
Maybe Phil, but the ball's coming across the penalty area, and then it does come off the fingertips of Quintana, who, as you referenced, his arm is away from his body. So it is a handball. However, remember, Phil, we've talked about this so many times on Under Review that in order to have a penalty kick indoor, it must be either one, a reckless, dangerous foul, which, handballs don't fall into that category, or number two, it must have stopped the goal. Well, this handball does not stop a shot on goal. There's not an attacking player running onto it to shoot on goal. So this should not have been a penalty kick, but rather just a free kick from the top of the arc, or the free kick mark there.
Last one for this show, Chihuahua versus Kansas City on Friday night, and the Savage think they've scored the game-winning goal only to be reviewed and disallowed. Ryan, can you please explain this one for the audience?
I will explain this, Phil. So Hugo there from Chihuahua, who's the attacker, plays the ball off the referee, and then it goes to Neto. Well, play was inadvertently stopped because when the referee's hit with the ball, play should only be stopped when the attacking team gains a scoring opportunity, and that obviously didn't happen here because Neto got the ball. So play should have never been stopped. And the other issue here is that it should have been a contested drop ball, not an uncontested. The only time we have an uncontested drop ball is when the hitting of the referee with the ball creates an unfair advantage to the attacking team. So at first it looked as if Chihuahua there was going to play the ball back to their defensive zone, but they don't, and then they attack and score. So if you think about this, the outcome just wasn't fair. The referees here, Grady and Atkins, they get together, talk about it, review it, and they correctly disallow the goal.
That's it for this week's episode of Under Review. If you have a play you'd like us to watch on Under Review, hit me up on Twitter @_HeyYoPhil. That guy over there, Ryan Cigich, don't call him. He's got enough calls to deal with.